I first got interested in this whole shift. When we're talking about this shift from the third industrial revolution to the fourth industrial revolution, I first started getting interested in this shift around 5 to 6 years back when I used to run innovation for a Silicon Valley-based firm. And during that period, I started trying to understand what was the real shift happening in the economy. A lot of people at that time believed that the real shift that was happening was that we were moving from physical systems to digital systems. But that is not true, because if we believe that we are moving from physical to digital, and if that is the real shift, then we come up with all kinds of erroneous implications. Some people said that in the future we won't have shops because everything will be online. That never happened. Today what we're seeing is not physical versus digital, but physical-digital hybrid models. So the shift was not from physical to digital. Some people said that the shift is from dump to data and to intelligence. But I believe that there's a much deeper shift that's happening, and that's what I wrote about in the two books that I brought out after that, Platform Scale and Platform Revolution. I believe that the fundamental design of business itself is changing. And when I say that, I want to explain what I mean by that. The traditional design of business is what I think of as a pipeline. This is how business has always worked. You have a producer who creates value. That value is shipped, and it goes to a consumer at the end. All supply chains work like this. Traditional media companies work like this. Content is fed down a pipe, and it reaches a consumer. Traditional service models work like this. We've always had this straight line model of business, a pipeline model of business, where value is created, and it's pushed downwards. In the first 10 years of the internet, what we think of as Web 1.0 and the transition to Web 2.0. Most of the disruption that happened because of the internet was a pipeline disruption. An inefficient pipe was replaced by an efficient pipe. Think of retail. Amazon disrupted Borders, or Netflix disrupted Blockbuster. The fundamental design or the fundamental mechanism of business did not change. It was still a retail model. Instead of an offline channel, they used an online channel. Think of newspapers that got disrupted. Newspapers had a high cost of delivery because news had to be printed, and there was a cost to transporting that printed news. And when that moved online, the cost of delivery became zero. So the entire newspaper industry got disrupted. So in the first 10 years of the internet, we saw what I would think of as pipeline disruption. But what we're starting to see right now, and this is where the fourth industrial revolution comes in very importantly, is that we're moving to a new model of business, which is a platform model of business. The best way to think about the platform model of business is that fundamentally the design of business completely changes. We looked at the pipeline model of business. The platform model of business looks like this. It's not a straight line anymore. Today, the companies that are the most successful are the ones that create a platform on which producers from outside and consumers from outside can come in and start interacting with each other and create value on top of the platform. You take any industry, if you look at what happened in the telecom industry and the handset manufacturing industry, Nokia and BlackBerry used to work in the pipeline model. They would create different kinds of handsets, they would load them with applications, and then they would push them out into the market. What Apple did was it created a platform. It created just one phone and then allowed developers to come in from outside and start creating apps. So today, all of us who own iPhones over here, actually, we bought the same phone, but we all have different phones today because all of us have personalized it with the applications that were available in the ecosystem. The same thing has happened in other industries too. If you look at any industry, when the source of value in that industry gets digitized, there becomes an opportunity for a platform play to come in. When the smartphone came in, it created an opportunity for cars to be digitized, because for the first time, location could be a digital value. And because cars could be digitized with smartphones around 2007, Uber happened around 2010. And Uber came into being only because the fundamental value in that industry, the location of the car, had got digitized. What we are seeing today, and the reason I believe this is important, is because across industries with the IoT, we're starting to see the fundamental value in every industry starting to get digitized. And so increasingly, we'll start seeing industries being reorganized from pipeline models to platform models.